Hello, my name is Alan Nafzger. I'm a professor of political science in Texas, the United States. I've written a action thriller I think you'll may be interested in. It's called The Streets of Manila. I was inspired by a press conference where President Duterte threatened the lives of the Mexican cartel leaders. And so I've written a 109-page action thriller script. The working title is Streets of Manila because it can be filmed entirely on the streets of Manila. In and around Manila, there's no need for remote locations. I believe the government will help, and I have some reasons for that. I'm currently seeking a action-savvy Filipino producer. The premise of the movie is when a ruthless Mexican drug cartel sends an elite team of hitmen to assassinate the president of the Philippines, he fights back. I believe the villains, Mexican drug lords, are a bit surprised at the resistance if they tried such a stunt. So I think it's character driven, and I'll get into that here in a minute. In the script, the president's PSG guards are decimated in an initial attack. They're outgunned, and it's a surprise attack at a public function, at an appearance where the president is vulnerable. And with his armored cars and personal PSG guards decimated in a fluid attempt to a life and death situation, he flees the scene on a jeepney. From here, it's essentially a chase movie. The president manages to escape in the jeepney with a drug addict, a motorcycle cop, a celebrity female comedian, and a bar girl. All the characters through the movie contribute to defending him from the assassins as they struggle to return from the palace. Basically, it's a chase from the Mall of Asia back to the palace with villains chasing them. It's character driven. There's a lot of personality. That's what makes this script unique. It's personality driven. Action thrillers, you think it's mostly story driven, but this is personality driven. Everything that President Duterte would do, I believe the main character, which I've named President Santos, will do. And it's just not his personality that's driving the story. It's the story of the Filipinos who are on the jeepney with the president. Of course, they take up arms and do what they can to rescue the situation. The drug addict, you'd think he and the president would be at odds, but you'll find President Duterte a compassionate character, or President Santos a compassionate character, and the drug addict is the victim of the drugs coming into the country. Even he is willing to step up and defend the Filipino president. There's a motorcycle cop. And this character represents law enforcement and duty. A female comedian is there for levity, but she has reasons of her own for protecting the president. And of course, there's the bar girl. All the characters help and get him to safety. At the same time, I heard President Duterte threaten the Mexican drug cartel. I read an article on the internet, The Demise of Philippine Action Films. I think you could probably Google that. It's a very thoughtful piece. It's a piece of movie film criticism. It's about how action movies that were once filmed in Manila used to be widely popular around the world, and companies came from all over to film there. I'd like to bring that back. Those films are still very popular in the West, and some of those old films in the 70s and the 80s are still very popular. They're some of the best action thrillers ever made, and they were filmed in Manila. I'd like to bring that back. Let's do it. I think the plots became repetitive and showed less and less depth, and that's why I have struggled to put personality in this action thriller. It's a great tradition, and filming action thrillers in Manila, I think you could make a lot of money if it's done properly. I think I have a lot of expectations. I think if the producers also had expectations, I think the government would fall in line because they would naturally want more money spent in filmmaking in Manila. You could have not just Hollywood, but many filmmakers from around the world bring their action thrillers to Manila, and we could begin the tradition again. The film would be the most ambitious project filmed in Manila since Metro Manila in 2013. There's thrilling motorcycle chases, spectacular car wrecks, plenty of gunfights and narco-terrorist explosions, grenades and rockets flying left and right. There are seductions and an epic fistfight at the end. The protagonist is 75 years old, but he's still willing to go bare knuckles with the Mexican drug lord. I guess the fist fight at the end maybe was inspired by Manny Pacquiao. Let's say Manny Pacquiao was the president. I don't think there's any doubt he would get into a bare knuckles fight with anyone that threatened him or his presidency or the country of the Philippines. Sure, I'll be happy to answer any questions. My email is alan.nafzger@gmail.com. I'm glad you're interested. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.